It's time to peel back with Maddie Levine, presented by Fight Bananas.
What's up, fight fans? Back in action on the Peel Back. It's Maddie Levine, and thank you so much for joining me. Wednesday night, it's all about the fights and the fighters, and we talk about everything. And today we have a really exciting guest from One Championship, and she has been climbing the ranks. She killed it in her debut, and she has been nonstop ever since. Alyse Anderson, we haven't spoken in about a year or so. The last time we spoke, you were getting ready for your debut at One. Now you're getting ready for one of the biggest fights of your career. I mean, you're killing it, girl.
Yeah. Was it last May that I had my debut, or like that was 2 years ago now?
Yeah. Okay, 2 years ago. It's been a while.
2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely been. I didn't expect to have like this big of a fight this fast, but like to have it in Colorado, what better way to take this fight?
Hell yeah, absolutely. So before we get into your bout coming up with Stamp Fairtex, you kicked off 2023 by getting your purple belt. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's hear about that journey a little bit and what that experience was like.
Well, I always have loved jujitsu, and like I like to do the gi, but it's hard to get promoted when you're not doing it consistently. So, in training out in South Florida, we like don't do any promotion. So, I feel like I was stuck at a four stripe blue belt since I got a flying triangle in Invicta was the last time I got promoted. So that was like 2019, and yeah, I had hoped with another submission win inside the cage, I could show that I was at that purple belt level, but I was just happy to get the recognition. Like I know like rankings don't mean that much in MMA, but when you're constantly on the mat and putting the time in, just to have that meant a lot.
I mean, yeah, like put the MMA rankings aside. I mean, not many people get to say that they have a purple belt. So, and anybody that truly trains knows how, I mean, such an honor that is. Like give a shout out to the gentleman that gave you your belt.
Oh, I got it from Matt Linsmeyer, Magic BJJ, Lansing, Michigan. It's where I pretty much have started since day one, learning jujitsu. And, they've always supported me traveling, going to other gyms, and always have had my back since day one. So definitely call them home.
Well, congratulations. I think I have, what is it? I have one stripe on my white belt. So I got
so
I got a while to go. Got a while before I start seeing colors on my belt, but that's all right. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, they come.
Yeah, it'll come. So you recently trained with Rose Namajunas. I was creeping on your Instagram, saw that pop up. Super jealous, by the way. How did that come about?
I'm actually living with her right now.
All right, that's awesome.
Well, saying like her and Pat are just running my camp for. We decided to do 5 weeks out here, so I did like the first 6 weeks in South Florida, and just to like prep me for out here almost. Like the elevation is huge, and we have the same manager, so when my coach at ATT didn't really want me taking this fight unless we could line up enough time out here to acclimate, because that was the biggest thing. Just with his past experience, seeing fighters like not come out with proper enough time that it would affect them in the fight. So when I brought it up to my manager, and he was like, "Well, Rose and Pat live out there. Like, let me see, what they think." And that's been one of the best parts, I think, about being with One, is not being in competition with the strawweights of the UFC, and being able to get help from to the strawweight. Like, I think that's the deepest division in the UFC, and to get to come out here and train with the best, and see how she runs things, and just being around her every day and seeing her mindset is like the biggest thing. because I mean it's no secret to everyone that I'm an underdog going into this fight, and I feel like Rose is someone that I look at that really has shined when she's been like in any adversity, and when people have thought that she wasn't going to come out on top, she's been able to like mentally dig down and find that. So just with the training in every day, like the day-to-day positive mindset thinking, and uh, that's been huge, and it's been awesome, learning from all the people that I've gotten to like come in contact with through fighting, and this journey has been amazing, and just getting to add someone else like Rose is like super cool.
I mean, not many people get to say that they're living with a world champion and getting to kind of pick their brain without giving away too much. I know you want to keep a lot of these, like, nuggets of information to yourself, but what is something that Rose has said to you that has really stuck with you over the past, couple days that you've been with her? Or how long have you been there so far?
Just over a week now.
Yeah. So what are some things that you're picking up from Rose that you hope to instill maybe in your mindset, maybe when you get in the cage?
I would say like the thing like that made the biggest difference, like in the quickest, was because like she definitely like asked me like so a lot of questions just about the fight, and I could tell like to see where my mindset was at with it, and just even like saying like the way you word things when you're talking about them. She I'll give an example, like saying I don't want to get tired in this fight, like and being focused on like I'm worried about the elevation, or I'm worried about all these, instead of like voicing that, being like I'm working every day to get in shape. I'm working so it's because like if you focus on not getting tired, like you're gonna get tired. Just
Mm,
like so when you're riding a bike and there's a rock and you're like don't hit the rock, don't hit the rock, you're probably gonna hit it.
mm.
So just because like, so I would say like negative self-talk, but even just like the way of wording things, and she's so mindful to how like she talks to herself and says things out loud, that it's like really made me be more mindful, even just like talking when you're not even thinking about how you're saying things.
It's so powerful, like this idea of positive self-talk or even like manifesting. Are you big with like manifestation and kind of like thinking about the future and that sort of thing?
Yeah, like she's definitely about that, but also being able to like turn that off, because
Mm.
um like otherwise like I'll probably be up all night and like not sleep, not take naps during the day, because I'm just thinking about this 24/7. So yeah,
And that can
being
get exhausting.
yeah.
Mentally, it's exhausting. So that's really cool that you're like learning things of how to just shut it off, because that's something that I would learn. I would love to learn as to how to shut the brain off. So May 4th, Colorado, the very first U.S. card for one championship. I mean, are you able to even put into words what it means to be on this inaugural moment?
I definitely am like super excited. It makes me a little more like excited and nervous, because I didn't think it was going to be sold out as fast as it was,
Hmm.
and just like knowing, and I haven't even fought in front of like a crowd since Invicta, because all my fights in Singapore were kind of like COVID rules,
Right.
so no fans, and so from going to like no fans to a sold out arena, you know, I'm also mostly excited just like to feel like that crowd's energy.
Do you have anybody special in the crowd coming?
They only gave us 2 tickets, so just my mom
What?
and dad.
What?
I
I mean, mom
know.
and dad, that's important.
I'm trying to get my manager in.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
2 tickets, man. That sounds like, come on. I mean, I'm not gonna judge. It is a sold out show.
I
Obviously,
was
it's a
like,
hot ticket.
I just kicked myself for not putting it in the contract negotiations.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't even
Yeah.
thinking that.
Right. Well, now that's something, looking forward, like, hey, I need at least 20 tickets, man. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
At least I was like, they could have gave me 4.
Right.
I
Yeah. Well,
was
at least mom and dad can be there. That's big. I love when my mom and dad are in the crowd. It definitely makes a difference. And are you the type of fighter that is fueled by having fans, or you had mentioned earlier how you are the underdog? Do you prefer being one or the other?
mm, I don't really care. I've gotten used to being the underdog now, being within one, because before I feel like in Victa I was always like a heavy favorite, and you do feel a lot of pressure. I feel like when you're the favorite because you're supposed to win and stuff,
Mm.
but just with being the underdog, it's just like I just have had to really like not focus on what other people say, because especially with this fight, I knew that I would be an underdog, but I guess I wasn't ready for how many U.S. fans want me to lose. So I
Mm.
was like, that kind of. I didn't expect that, but just taking it as it comes and not letting it affect me, because like I know what I'm capable of, and I wouldn't accept this fight if I didn't think it was a good fight for me.
Yeah. And I think it plays into the fact, you're fighting Stan Fairtex. She has certainly created a name for herself under the one banner, and I think people want to flock to the name that they know. And I think maybe the name Alyse Anderson, it may not be as known as Stamp, but after this, I mean, it's certainly going to be known. And what is something that you hope that fans can relate to when they see you in the cage? What do you hope that future fans are attracted to about your fighting style?
I think like people just being able to see someone overcome adversity, and like so many people thinking like I'm gonna whatever Sam's gonna in the first
Mm.
round, and you got knocked down by Asher Roca, and look what Stamp did to her, and all this crazy stuff. And it's like, well, like just being able to see someone overcome that, and I think that kind of like what Rose does every time. Like, how is that not inspiring? Just seeing, not letting the naysayers get to her, and still going and putting out her best performance.
And at the end of the day, those naysayers are in the stands. You're in the cage. Okay? It's like a whole different world. So they can talk as much as they want. You're the one throwing punches and kicking. So, I mean, it's amazing. It's incredible what you do. So, it's super exciting. I'm super pumped for you. Um, do you see this being the classic grappler versus striker scenario when it comes to fighting Stamp?
Yes and no. Someone sent me an interview that she said like says she wanted to test her ground game because we're both purple belts, and I think that's a great idea for her, because so like that's so and I don't think that my striking is as bad as even that I've thought it is in the past, and as long as I'm confident in that, I think that I'm not going. I don't think it's going to be a classic grappler and
Yeah.
kickboxer fight, just because um, I think that people are expecting it so much that like that's why like, it's going to be more MMA.
Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of MMA. You gotta know it all. And I mean, you drop people in the cage. She has been, known to go to the ground. So I think it's gonna be a really fun matchup, and it's gonna be a treat for the fans as well. Um, Now I know that you also love motocross, but I'm sure you've kind of put that on the back burner for now, right? I would hope.
Yeah, I don't think, especially with it getting warm out, it's like now would be the time I'd be starting the bikes up. But being uh, out here and stuff, and I've always tried to be far away for camps, like for that reason. But it just gives me something to look forward to for after the fight.
Do you compete in motocross as well, or do you just do it for fun?
I haven't since I signed with one.
Okay. But do you think you would in the future?
Yeah, I usually like to during the summer, especially like locally. I guess it's not super local, like statewide in
Mm.
Michigan. Um, because like all my buddies and stuff are already going, so like I just tag along with them and like sign up for whatever division they have for girls at the time. But uh, it's just a little risky to get. I don't want
Yeah.
to get hurt right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I can only imagine. Like, I'd be freaking. First of all, I mean, different cases, but I'd be terrified to hop on that bike and then like going over, whatever, and landing on my butt and just not doing well. So I'm glad to hear that you're focusing on other things, but I'm sure you wouldn't hurt yourself quite like I would hurt myself. So, because
Well,
how long have you been doing
I
it?
definitely have a few times. Since I was like 7. I think I got my first dirt bike when I was 7.
Yeah. Yeah. Not many people get their first dirt bike at 7. They're usually getting their first pedal bike at 7. So
Yeah.
that's pretty badass. That's awesome. So I actually, now that I'm thinking back, I forgot to ask, is it true that Stamp actually called you out for this fight?
People thought that she did because she actually called out. Her name is Anissa
Oh, and this Mexim?
yeah, that's who she called. But the translation, when they translated it on the Amazon Prime, they pretty much said like
Gotcha.
Alicia. They said Alicia, and so I was getting tagged
Gotcha.
nonstop, and I was like, this was like beginning of January because it was when she did it after the kickboxing match. It was
Right.
on my birthday actually because I was like out on my birthday getting tagged, and I was like, Stan Fairchild, what? She's calling. I just thought it was so random. Like
Right.
at a kickboxing match, that she was calling me out, and then when I saw someone comment like, "Oh no, she said this," uh, like it did go like I. That's when I started thinking about us fighting though. So like I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
she didn't call me out," but there was for like a few hours that I thought she was, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Right. I mean, talk
Like,
about manifesting, right? It's like
yeah.
you think it's happening, so now you're starting to think about it, and now it happens. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was, and I didn't even know that they had like already been talking to my manager about it. He just didn't tell me because it was like kind of far away, and he knows how I get.
Hmm.
So I had just been bugging him like, I want an opponent for. They're coming to the U.S. Why aren't you giving me names? And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, well, they just, I gotta talk to him. I gotta talk to him, and he just like wants me to be in the right headspace when we talk. And he's like, I can't tell you 5 months out from a fight because you won't stop training. Okay, makes sense.
All right, fine, I guess. That's
Yeah,
great.
but I was definitely like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's May 4th. It's happening. We'll be
May
able to
5th.
watch it.
May 5th.
Oh, I'm sorry, May 5th. Excuse me, May 5th in Colorado. And we'll be able to watch it on Amazon Prime. So I'll be tuned in for sure. That's gonna be awesome. But in the meantime, let's peel back some stuff on pop culture. A lot of couple things happening recently. Super Mario Brothers just broke records in the box office. Was that something you ever played as a kid? Did you ever play Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, I have like a whole Game Boy collection in South Florida that and I got my Nintendo Switch, but I just didn't I don't think I'll go see the movie in theaters. I'll probably wait
What?
for it to come out. I want to see that movie Air.
Oh, Air, yes, that looks good. It got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is like unheard of.
I know, I think that I saw something on TikTok and I was like, because usually I don't think I think I've only seen like one movie in theaters since like COVID.
Oh, snap.
So
Yeah.
I just wait for it to come out, but I'm like, ooh, that one
Yeah.
I might go see.
That one's a good one. That looks good. Speaking of TikTok, TikTok dances. What are your thoughts on TikTok dances
I
and the
like to watch.
popularity of them?
I like to watch them, and there's a few that I always send to my sister. I'm like, do you think I could learn this one? And she's like, you could, but you know, you'd have to practice for a really long time. Like, man, I watch the tutorials sometimes, but not. It's not my thing
Right.
personally. That's for sure.
I have seen so many where I'm like, oh, I can do that. And then I'm just like playing it over and over, trying to learn it. And I just look like an absolute moron. I never end up posting them.
Ones. Yeah, even the tutorial videos are in slow motion. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. I mean, shout out to the people who make it look cool because I am not one of those people. Absolutely not. Pete Davidson and Martha Stewart. I don't know if you know this, but they're like really good friends. It's probably the weirdest friendship I've ever heard of in my life. What is one celebrity that you would love to be friends with?
Drake.
Just
because I like his music so much, and I'm like an uber fan, I feel like, of his music. I don't feel like I have a lot of celebrities like personality wise that like, because I feel like people are so different, than you see them on TV. So or what the media portrays them. So I would probably just say Drake because I'm such a fan.
Yeah, that would be good. I think I would fangirl too much though around him. Like I don't know if I would be able to like be myself around Drake. I think I would pick like somebody like Seth Rogen because I feel like I would just be laughing the whole time.
Oh yeah, like Kevin Hart would be funny.
Yes, Kevin Hart would be a good one. Hey, maybe Kevin Hart will go to your fight. Who knows?
That would be crazy.
That'd be wild. That'd be crazy. But most importantly, mom and dad are going to be in attendance. So that's awesome.
Well, I might end up giving mom's ticket to the training partner, and she might stay at the hotel with my pregnant sister, who's like going to be 36 weeks pregnant at my fight, and flying to Colorado. So she's going to come to like do my hair and everything for fight week, because I've been fighting in Singapore where I had to like get my braids done in the U.S. and they had to last 10 days there.
Oh my God.
All of media day and everything, like I had it like the same braids in, and I'm like, I'm so glad I can have my hair down again. Like, so I'm like, no, my sister's coming, she's gonna do my hair, but I'm like, but I don't have a ticket for you. But so my mom might stay with her so I can give my training partner one. But as long as my dad's there, and as long as like we're all together after the fight, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, we'll all be watching you shine, and we can't wait to see you do your thing in May. Colorado, it's going to be live on Amazon. And what would you like to say to the people that will be watching around the world?
Just to tune in, and because it's going to be a great matchup. We're both super elite fighters, and not just our fight, but the whole card is stacked. And we've all had a long time to train for this, so I think everyone's going to come like as the best versions of themselves. So it's definitely a card to tune into.
Let's go. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alyse.
Yeah, thank you for having me.